Stop talking.
Back to the
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See you next time. Stay well.
I think we're ready. We're ready.
Ready or not?
Hello again, this is Bob Morin.
And Marianne Morin.
And this is the More Stuff Show.
Welcome.
Welcome again.
Good to see everybody today.
Yes, you're looking much better this week.
Thank you. I feel better. What do you mean?
Well, you do look much,
thank
well,
you.
always look well.
Certainly,
You
okay.
always look great. But there were some people out there that were a little bit under the weather last week.
Yes, it's a flu and cold season.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But they say the flu is on the way down now. So you're looking good. You want to make sure to get outside now that you've been in the house for so long. Want to go to the mall or something, go to church, say hello to some of your neighbors.
get out.
Hmm.
Any sunny day.
Well, the sunny days are coming. Been a very cold winter, but
Luckily, we've had two good places for walking inside. And I'm sure you all know what they are. First thing is the mall. If you walk around the entire mall, I'm talking about the Elmira
the Arnott Mall.
Every single entranceway you walk down and around and do the whole thing, and it's about a mile. Is that what you're talking about?
Just a little bit under a mile, I
About a
think.
mile.
But it's a nice little walk.
You can go around as many times as you want.
You can start early in the morning, 7 or 8 o'clock. There are people there. There's a culture. There's a walking culture at the Arnott Mall. And people get to know each other. They're the older crowd, retired people.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
You don't see too many, well, all the kids are in school. A lot of the other people, the middle-aged, are working.
So you're talking about during the week.
During the week,
During the week.
well, you have another time in mind?
Well, there's the week and then there's the weekend.
What's the difference?
People who are working can't go on the weekdays. Can't go.
Well, you know, if you do your walking when there's a crowd there, there's that could be a problem.
Yes, it
Because
is.
the crowd meanders. You know, they kind of look at the window shopping.
Yes.
You know, they kind of sit down, walk around this way, that way. But the walkers are determined.
Yeah.
They're determined walkers, and they do their laps at the mall.
Right.
And if there's a crowd of shoppers there, they could conflict with each other. Because you have a walker saying, "Get out of the way, here I come." And these old people are pretty tough,
Oh. Determined.
determined.
And they know what they have to do and they're
I've got to do my laps.
They're
Get out of the
ready to
way.
yes. Well, you know, I've tried that in a crowd. It's really tricky.
You've tried that?
Tried walking in a crowd.
You tell people to get out of the way?
No, but you have to sometimes cross lanes and walk on the other side
Well.
and weaving in and out.
There's
difficult.
a crowd traffic pattern all the time. I noticed that the first time a crowd traffic pattern when I went to junior high school, 7th grade.
Wow.
I noticed in the hallway, all the people walking in one direction on one side,
Yes.
and on the other side of the hall, they walk the opposite direction.
Right. Hey.
They organize themselves like ants. And people do that a little bit at the mall.
Stay to the right.
A little bit. You know, it's like a 60, 70% compliance.
Right.
You've always got some people walking the opposite way. It's not like in school where everybody walks the same way.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Well, you know, and when I've been walking in a crowd, that's what I find more helpful is if I walk across when the people are going the other way, then they see me coming.
If you walk
They
towards
see
them,
me, and
they'll get out of the
kind
way.
of clear out of the way.
And especially an older person, they will defer.
Well, most of the time.
They will defer. They'll see an elderly person coming, so they defer and they let you walk straight while they go around.
Watch out for that lady. She doesn't know what side of the street she's supposed to be walking on. Walking on the wrong side.
Yeah, well,
What's the matter
that's
with
why
that?
I walk in back of you. So you can kind of run interference.
Ah.
Like I'm playing football and you're blocking for me.
I can do that. Yeah.
Because I hate to be the one to smash in front of people. I let you do that.
I'm very bold that way, yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'll do the best I can with giving.
Well, now
what I
that's
have.
just one place. The Arnott Mall, you said there were two places.
Oh, of course, and the other place is the Watkins Glen High School Field House.
The
new
Field House, yes.
Wow, is that lovely? It's beautiful.
You can do laps there, and it's not a mile around.
No, you have to go to. I don't know how many times yet. I've forgotten.
Yeah,
Many
eight,
times.
You go around eight, and just a little bit more than 8 times around, and that's a
Okay,
mile.
That's a mile. And you only go one direction there.
Right, you're right. They're organized.
One
You only go in
direction.
is that clockwise or counterclockwise?
That way.
It's counterclockwise.
Is it? Oh, okay.
They go counterclockwise.
But you know that there is a slight problem with that, is because I feel like one side of me is I'm lopsided.
Oh, you
From
you
having
mean,
walked, I want to walk around the other way a couple of times.
you mean if you walk in a circle continually,
Yeah.
one side will be more or less developed than the other side of you?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't believe any
One
of that.
side is walking further than the other side.
I think it's so slight. It doesn't
can't,
matter. I don't think it.
Unless you
it-
do a
it's
lot
relevant
of
to anything.
miles, yeah. Well, anyway, it's a wonderful place. It's even padded. Padded.
What do you mean
The
padded?
flooring is
Yeah,
somewhat
there's
padded,
a
something.
a small bounce to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard concrete. There's a layer of something.
And they're totally committed to the public because they're open every day
It's free.
for a time. And the walking part is free.
It's free. I forget what the hours are. It's in the evening. They stop when 9 o'clock, 8:30, somewhere in there.
It's different. Weekends it's till 5, and I think you're right.
Well,
about
I've got
8:30.
another. You say you've got 2 walking places.
Yes.
Now I've got 2 other places.
Okay.
2 other places you can walk. But when it snows, it's tough. One place is the state park in Watkins Glen.
Whoa, you're not talking indoors anymore. You're talking
Now,
outside.
this is outdoors. And if you bundle up and you wear good boots and hat and gloves, you can go out when it's pretty chilly, and you can walk in the state park. You can't go through the Gorge Trail because that's closed
It's
for
dangerous.
safety reasons.
Yeah.
They close that in the winter. But the other trail, they call it the Rim Trail, or you can walk in the campgrounds
Well,
where the
those
campers are.
campgrounds are up an enormous hill. Can
Yeah,
you drive up there?
When the park is officially open, you can drive up there, but they close it during the winter. It says service road closed. But you can walk up there. I've seen some skiers up there. So if you do cross-country skiing, you can cross-country ski in the state park. But when it snows, it's a little tricky. I went up there when it snowed. The first time I went, the snow was nice and fluffy.
Fluffy is good.
It wasn't a heavy snow. It had snowed. It was fluffy snow. So you can pretty much walk through it without too much trouble.
Not slippery.
But after a few days and continued snow, some wet snow that freezes, the snow gets hard, and it was deep. Last time I was up there, it was deep, and it's very, very hard. And I tried to get some snowshoes.
Yes.
You know, snowshoes, a new concept to me.
Is that the things that look like tennis rackets?
That's how the old-fashioned snowshoes
Right,
looked
yeah.
at. But now they modernized them. You get snowshoes, but they were too expensive. We went to the mall to look for snowshoes the other day, and they were like $160 for me. You can get them a little cheaper if you're small, but if you're heavy, you have to have bigger snowshoes. And if you're a small person, your snowshoes don't have to be that big. So it depends on how much you weigh. The more you weigh, the bigger your snowshoes have to be.
Wow.
So that's the second place, at the state park. Summertime it's great.
There, then-
Wintertime and there's snow,
Bit of a challenge.
it's hard. It's hard. The
But I
other,
bet you it's pretty and quiet.
oh, it's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
You can see a deer track, different type of animal, different. There's big birds up there. You can see their prints. I know what you call. You don't call them paws, but you see their prints in the snow.
Like turkeys, you mean? Birds?
Yeah, I don't know what kind. I'm not into the wildlife too much, but they're pretty big birds because they leave prints on the ground that were pretty big. The other place to walk is in Montour Falls. There's an old railroad trail, an old railroad track that was converted into a walking trail.
It's nice. Nice place.
And that goes all the way to Millport. And it's like 4.5 miles to Millport.
Wow.
So if you go to Millport and back, that's a 9-mile
9
walk.
miles?
Yeah, well, you go
Does
slow.
anybody go 9 miles?
There are people that do that.
Whoa.
You can go with bicycles. I've seen people with bicycles go. And in one time in the summer, I saw a guy do it with he had skis with wheels on them.
Like roller skating
Like
skis?
he was like roller skis.
Roller
I've never
skis.
seen anything like that. It was the first time I saw it. An elderly fellow was pushing himself. He had poles. You know, when you ski, you have poles. Cross country ski, you have poles.
Yeah.
He had that, and he was going on that, and he was on that trail. But then again, when there's snow and you don't have skis or snowshoes, it's work. It's a good workout. You know, if you want to sweat and get yourself exhausted, tired to work out, you can go in the snow with good boots. But those are places you can walk.
Now, why are we talking so much about walking? What is walking? Why do people walk?
Well, you brought
I
up the
do know this
subject.
answer.
You brought up the subject like you always do.
The reason why I walk is because my doctor said it's healthy and it lowers your blood pressure. So you should walk for, what did he say?
30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week.
5 times a week, like a bear is chasing you.
And that means
Fast.
brisk
You
walking.
can't meander walk.
Yeah, if it's a leisure walk, like you're picking flowers and daydreaming, that's not really going to do it. You really need to be breathing, but don't breathe so much that you can't talk. That's a clue.
Okay.
You know, if you don't want to be too scientific about it, if you're having trouble talking and you can't talk, you're walking too fast.
Okay.
You're walking too fast. You got to be able to have a conversation with somebody with not too much difficulty.
All right.
Otherwise, you're walking too. So, exercise is the balance between not enough and too much.
But it is important.
It is. And a lot of people, they haven't exercised in a long time. They think, well, I'm just in as good a shape now as I was when I was in high school. In high school, I could run a mile in 6 minutes with no trouble. So here I am, 40 years old. I'm going to do the same thing right now. Well, you can't. That's stupid.
Yeah,
You can't.
you can.
You know, a 17, 18-year-old has no trouble running a 6-minute mile, but you're 40 years old, you haven't done it in a long time. Don't even think about it. Just forget it. You know, just start by walking a few weeks anyway to get your muscles in shape.
So a lot of people at the track, they're older, like 70s.
Yes.
And they'll just walk around and then they'll stop for a little bit, sit in the windowsill, and then continue walking on. So they don't do it all at one time. If they
It's
can.
all different. You
Some
can
are
do
just
it.
beginners, and some have been there for a few
Give
years.
yourself some time to get in shape, even walking. You have all the time. Give yourself a few months, a year. Let's say you could even give yourself a year, maybe 2 years, and you can do a marathon. But just start gradually and don't overdo it.
So I'm
And
going to
that
give
is-
myself 10 or 15 years before I do a marathon. I'm going to give myself a way long time.
Well, I want you to do the Lilac Festival in Rochester. They do a 10K, which is 6 miles.
I might be able to do
Now you've
6 miles.
done a 5K.
Yes. That's very
You've done a
comfortable.
5K, so I think you can do a 10K. We'll walk it. I'll walk
5K.
it. I don't want this to go too long. How long have we been doing this show now? I'm looking at the
Trouble with
clock.
our memory is we can't remember when we started.
God.
Yeah.
Image is so important. And my tie was crooked there.
Ah, yes. So we talked about health and walking and different
Health,
places
walking,
where
and,
people could walk.
Okay.
It's good things
And
to know.
gotta give people our email address.
Yes, you can write to us at the Bob Moran Show. No. The More Stuff Show at yahoo.com.
The More Stuff Show at yahoo.com.
Right.
The More Stuff Show. See, we gave up the Bob Warren part. When we renegotiated my contract, The Bob Moore and stuff was deleted from the title of this show. Now it's just the More Stuff Show.
You know, when I signed up for a show, I tried to call it More Stuff at yahoo.com. It would be shorter and easier. Well, somebody already had that.
You mean when you signed up for the email name?
Yeah, somebody already had that name.
So it's the More Stuff Show.
So you need the. Yeah.
The More Stuff Show at yahoo.com.
Okay, and all lowercase letters, no caps.
No caps.
No spaces.
Well, I don't know. You look good. Keep up the good work. Be nice to each other. Don't get mad at anything. Don't get mad at anything. No matter how bad things appear, it doesn't matter. You know, all the troubles are really outside of Watkins Glen. Yeah, happening someplace else. So don't worry about it. Just what happened?
A light went out. I don't know which one.
The light went out. Well, that's time to go.
Time to go now.
Time to go. Goodbye.
Bye.